gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, hello, and welcome. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of Up Close and Personal with the Queen here on the Crew Podcast. On behalf of International Women's History Month, we are bringing some amazing queens that are doing their own thing in the literary world. So tonight, the rest of this week and next week, we're going to be sharing some amazing queens that are doing their thing in the literary world and beyond. It goes beyond just the books. It goes beyond just writing. These individuals have established themselves brands, and they've established platforms and speaking engagements and things of that nature, to allow their voices to be heard because they have a message that they want to get out into the world. So I am honored. It is truly a privilege and an honor to be able to bring these amazing queens to you guys and allow you guys to get to know them, to find out, a little bit about them, what they're doing, and what we can expect to see from them in 2025. So I'm excited. If you would, please take a moment, share this in your circle, share this with someone, because you never know what the next person may be in need of. It may be just that one little nugget that is dropped tonight that may help someone come out of whatever they may be going through. So if you would, please share this in your circle while I prepare to bring up my guest. I'm going to allow her to come up, introduce herself. It's not going to be so much yet. For those that follow and know the platform, know that, it's just going to be a conversation. We want to get to know who she is. We want to know what she got going on. And we want to know how we can support the things that she's doing. So I'm going to move out the way. And I'm going to bring her up and I'm going to allow her to do her introductions, y'all. And then we're going to dive into conversation. If you have any questions, we want you to chime in. So post your comments in the comment section. And y'all, we're going to have a great time tonight. So let me bring my guest up and allow her to introduce herself. So welcome. How are you tonight?
Hi, how are you?
I am great. I can't complain. I tell you. I'm just reminded. I remember my mom used to tell me. She said, "You know what? That's just like using the restroom on yourself." She said, "Don't nobody feel that but you." She said, "Complaining and being mad." She said, "Hey, baby, don't nobody feel that but you." She said, "The other person is going on and doing what they doing, and you over there mad." So
Absolutely.
hey, that thing has stuck with me, and I tell you, it's so easy for me to forgive because of that. I don't want to carry that around with me. So tonight, I'm excited to have you in the studio, excited to have you in the building. You are one of the amazing queens that are a part of the 100 authors to watch in 2025. So we want to get a chance to find out a little bit about you, who you are, what you're doing, and how we can support those things. So if you would, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Queen Angela. I'm so happy to be here this evening and giving me the opportunity to be able to speak on this platform and talk about some of the amazing things that I'm doing, as well as being just part of the amazing thing that you're doing and all these other fabulous authors. So my name is Safana Shepherd, and I am a mom. I'm a glam ma, and I'm also an author of three books, a poetry book, a anthology I'm part of, as well as a partial memoir where I talk about my journey from once living in shelters with my family to overseeing shelters in New York City. I am a certified life coach as well, recently trained. And I currently, my 9 to 5, I work for the Department of Health as well as the Department of Aging, helping the seniors seniors who are struggling with Alzheimer's and dementia, but working with the caregivers who support them.
Wow. Wow. Um, Amazing. Definitely takes a special person to do the things that you're doing. I trust me, it takes a special person. You touched on a couple things that are near and dear to my heart. I am passionate about my elderly and my babies.
Yes.
Like you my age, I'm like, okay, you can fend for yourself, but I'm passionate about them babies, and I'm passionate about the elderly.
Yes.
So you definitely touched on some things that are amazing. Your journey, just hearing just that snippet, is truly amazing, and a lot of people can glean from your experience and the things that you have been through. So definitely, I look forward to sharing more, because I know this time we have here today is not going to be enough. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Like, I mean, you just touched on a lot of things, and I know that just getting to know you over this platform is going to be amazing. Um, I love the fact that you were able to take your experience, take your journey, and turn it into a career, and then take it and be able to give back, not just as a job, but as an outlet of getting through it. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
people, some people get through it sometimes and they never want to share the journey.
Absolutely.
So I thank you for that, because people seeing, how you got through it, and knowing that they can get through it's so amazing. So if you would, I want to know a little bit, but I know you can't go all into it, but just a little bit of what this journey has been like for you, becoming an author. Has there been any challenges with becoming an author?
Um, Absolutely, there's been challenges. I think the biggest challenge for me was more in marketing the book once the book came out, and really promoting it. And of course, family and friends supported, but me really wanting to get the book out and get the message out to more people that didn't know me, because I think the story is so important, and the people that did, my friends and my family that did read the book, and then some people that weren't so close to me, they told me that they had went through similar situations, or something in the book really touched them, and that they didn't realize that someone else actually had this journey as well. So the challenge was really figuring out how I can get this story out there, whether it's in the book, yes, but promoting it, and maybe even just speaking about my experience, which I don't think it's unique. I think a lot of women go through this. And just for me being able to talk about it, briefly, that when I originally wrote the book, it's called Protection from the Storm. That's not the book that I wanted to write. I wanted to write something totally different. And a friend of mine, she has a publication company called Smart Girl Media, and we were talking about it. And she was asking me what I wanted to do, and I told her what I wanted to write about. And she said, "Well, I'm not really sure if that's the way we should go." She was giving me a little guidance, but she said, "Tell me a little bit more about your story and some things that maybe other people don't know." And I just started talking, and I started talking. Well, I was in a shelter with my family, and I did this. And she said, "Wait a minute." She said, "Do you realize what you just said?" And I'm like, "What?" And she said, "You were in a shelter with your children, with your family. And now you are overseeing 7 shelters in New York City." She said, "Do you realize
Hmm.
what that story is?" And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay. But for me, it was more like, that's my story. That's my journey. I went through it. I got through it, but I wasn't thinking about the power in that. And so once she actually helped me to see that. And once I started going through the process and writing about it and remembering, and it made me cry. Like, I was just like, wow, like, this is so powerful. And realizing how God was there with me every step of the way. And if it wasn't for my faith and it wasn't for him, because people will often ask me, "How did you do all of that?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I don't know. I just did it." No, God helped me through that. He saw me through that. And this is what I was supposed to do, to tell my
Wow.
story.
And you say that, and I'm listening. You say New York, and then I'm like, okay, I know a young lady that lives in New York that also had a similar experience as yours. um, I happened to meet her on social media.
Mm.
We were on the same podcast network. Um, and in the midst of her going through, I find out she was going through, but she experienced the same thing. But I'm glad she was too able to get through, because now she's in her own apartment. She's doing amazing.
Amazing.
So, you know, people need to hear those stories, because imagine how many other people are in New York or in Philadelphia or in Atlanta or in these major cities that are experiencing the same thing
Absolutely.
and think that they are alone, that there's nobody else that has been through that or going through that, when there's other people going through the same thing. But now that you have been through it, you were able to get through it. So now it's a question for a lot of people is, how did you get through it?
Mhm.
What were the steps? And I'm sure you share that in everything that you do, everything that you put out, every time you get a chance to speak. I'm sure that you're sharing these things, but those are things that, people want to know.
Mhm.
Okay, I see she went through these things. How did she get through that?
Mhm.
And how were you able to, because you're a beautiful young lady, how were you
Yeah.
able to maintain and not look like what you've been through? Like when people, like, but I tell people now, I don't even say, I'm glad I don't look like what I've been through. You know what I say now? I say, you know what? It took that to make me look like this. It
Mm.
took that to get me to look like this, because guess what? If I had not went through it, would I look like this? That's what I say. Would I look, would I be able to say that, but no, I'm supposed to look like this, because this is what getting through it looked like.
Yes,
Thank you, Holy Ghost.
yes,
This is what
yes.
getting through it look like. So
That's
now
what
you
it
can
looks like.
tell people,
Mhm.
this is what it looked like. So you can encourage them. That can be your encouragement to if you want to look like, eh, you've been through the fire but not been burnt or
That's
smell
right.
like
That's
smoke.
right.
Hey, this
That's
this is
right.
this is how you do it. This is
That's
how you
right.
do it.
That's right.
Wow.
That's
Look,
right.
just listening to your story has
Mhm.
really it just did something to me. Like, you don't know how many bits and pieces of the things that you shared that I've experienced.
Wow.
I been homeless a couple of times.
Mm.
I've had to start over a couple of times. You
Mm.
know, I've, and a lot of people don't even know this, but when I left my domestic violence, when I left that, and I was told that, we're gonna help you, we're gonna do this, come on over here, and we're gonna do this. People don't know that I slept in my car in a parking lot
Mm.
for several nights, because someone told me that would be a safe haven, that I would be okay there. Didn't worry about putting me up, but it was God that allowed me to get through that. I'm grateful, to even be here. Who would have known that I would be able to share that? Not if you had not been on here today, even mentioning that. I probably not even, because I don't even know if I mentioned it before,
Mhm.
because my journey has just been so much, and just being able to talk about it.
God works in mysterious ways. He puts people together and people in your paths for a reason. I believe that. That's some of
Hmm.
the things that happened to me along the way. People have always been put in my path, and just really staying strong to my faith. And I thank you for sharing that, because as well, I actually was part of an anthology as well, with a lady that I just met just out of the blue. Her name is Dr. Tanisha King Taylor, and she asked me to be a part of an anthology that she was doing. And I thought it was rather strange when she asked me, because when she told me the topic, she said the topic is around domestic violence, but emotional and psychological abuse of women in intimate partner relationships. So I was taken aback, because I'm like, that's not what my book was about, what I wrote about. So why did she ask me to join her in this book? And it just so happened at that time, she shared with me that she was in the process of going through a divorce and leaving her husband, who was a very abusive to her. And she didn't even know at that time I was also in the middle of the same thing. And so her asking me, it was like this divine connection without her even knowing. And I absolutely joined her and 5 other authors in that anthology so we could tell our stories. And I just feel like that is what my path has been. And that's what the gift and my purpose that God has given me is to tell my story and to connect with other women who may have been keeping these things silent, and not being able to speak about it. And once they hear other women's story, whether it's my story, your story, they feel comfortable enough or connect enough to be able to say, you know what, I don't have to be alone because I'm not alone and I've been through these things and they've been through these things and look at where they are and they're continuing on, the resilience, the strength. So yeah, so I know that that is what my purpose is.
Wow. And that you say that, and then you say um, that the loneliness, I actually have some hosts that are on the podcast and some individuals that support the podcast that are going through similar situations now. And, just being able to, for them to hear this and for them to get these little nuggets, something that can help them get through, because sometimes we don't know what the next person is experiencing. We may share everything that we can, and we can only share our experiences, but it may be something that the next person is sharing that
Yeah.
can help them get through.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful, and God knows what we need. And he will always, if we just align ourselves, if we just be in place, he will make sure that we align with those things that we're supposed to, according to his plan, because his plan is his plan.
It's plain.
Jeremiah 29:11 is not going to change. He has already mapped it out. So the fact that you're here today, that was already a part of the plan back when he said it was done. He knew that this day was going to come and that it was going to be right here. In this hour, in this minute, and everyone that needed to hear this and everyone that needed to be in this moment would be here.
Amen.
And even those that will hear this as a replay, they're going to hear it exactly when they need to hear it, because God is an on-time God. He's not a God of circumstance and accidents and just happenstance. He's not that God. He's an on-time God, and he's always moving on our behalf. Um, so I'm grateful.
Hmm.
I'm grateful that we were in place and that we were able to be obedient and that listen we listened to him. So you mentioned some of the things that you do.
Hmm.
Um, by any chance, are you doing any speaking? Or are you doing any type of motivational speaking or at
Um,
this time?
not at this time. That's something that I definitely am looking into and I really want to do. One of the things that I want to do is go to the family shelters to give back, where the women and children are, to really speak to the women and let them know, like I was, I'm you and you are me. I was in this place, so don't give up and think that this is the end for you. But also, speaking to young women. I also work with young girls. I have a organization that I started right before the pandemic called She is Empowered, where we just bring women together, similar to what you do, but instead bring women together to network, all walks of path in their careers, and just really mentor each other. And we give back to the youth as well. We give them I call them love offerings, in for the youth in education or entrepreneurial pursuits that they may be looking to do. So motivational speaking is something that I definitely really want to get deeper into. I have an event that's coming up in May supporting women, and that's going to be my first event that I'm going to do where I'm going to be the speaker as opposed to hiring someone or bringing someone in. I want to be there to speak to the women at my own event.
Exactly. That's what I keep telling people. Like, you sit amongst, like, you are so gifted and talented. Like, I tell the young ladies on the podcast all the time, because we have not just the group of people that you see in the background, but the ladies right here on the podcast. We have 9 um, hosts that host their own show, and they're all queens, and they all have their own brands. They're all doing different things, and they have their own powerful messages. Like, we have one that's a social worker. She does policies and procedures, but she has been in social working for 30 years. She's done everything. She's done foster care. She's done elderly, like you guys do. And she is amazing. We have individuals that have disabilities that come and they share about their disabilities, show that you can still do things and not even be, you know, succumb to your disability, that you still can do despite of that. It does not disable you, but it's just, you're just different. You're just a little different. And
Yes.
then we have one young lady, and she's in New York. She is confined to a bed right now. She had a massive stroke um, a little over 2.5 years ago. But she does her show every first and third Wednesday. She comes on. She started out interviewing individuals, but now she does inspirational moments with Prophetess T. And she come on and she encouraged other individuals. She want them to know that in spite of that, you still can, if you
Absolutely.
want to. Where
Mm.
there's a will, there's a way, and it's not just words that you can. We're truly trying to lead by example. So I'm telling you, I say all that to say this. If you need some women that have some powerful stories, that have some powerful testimonies, and that can really, encourage. One thing we do is we believe that we are the change that we desire to see in this world. And we do that through educating, empowering, encouraging.
Absolutely.
Um, we revamped our entire programming so that we can have our Saturdays free, so that we can get out in the community, so that we can go out and give back and be in the community and do things. So if you need individuals to come out and maybe interview people at your event, or to, just maybe just be a part, to share highlights, to go live and to talk about what's going on. We have people that may be in the area that would like to come out. That's what we're doing now. We're giving back. We want people to know that we are a part of the community, and we are here to support each other. I'm on this 4 C's, and if you since you are a part of the 100 Author movement, that is one of the things that we stand on. And we're standing on those 4 C's right now, and that is connect, collaborate, create, and community.
Mm.
I truly believe that it is us coming together, us connecting and truly connected. Not just saying that, hey, we are connected, but us pulling on each other resources, because there may be something that I may know that can help you that you may not know. You may not have that nugget yet, but it may be something that I can share with you that can help you go to the next level. And then vice versa is the same thing. And if we're all doing that for each other, then guess what? We're all growing, and we're all able to bring up people behind us. And then as we're bringing up people behind us, we're raising up a whole new generation. And as we continue to give back and to give back, that is that greatness that he said that we shall do.
Yes.
And how will people know? Only
Yes.
know if we're doing the things that we're doing now, having these interviews, being in these
Absolutely.
magazines, going live,
Yeah.
being visible, being able to be seen.
Yes.
So I am super, super proud of you
Thank
for
you.
having this event. Please, let's talk about this event. Let's talk about when this event is going to be. And is it too late for individuals to get involved in
Oh,
the event?
oh no, absolutely. I love this, and I would be happy to share most definitely. The event is taking place May 17th. And it is happening. I'll send the flyer out. It's at a venue called the Her Place, which is amazing because I was looking for a venue because I actually wanted to do this event in March for Women's History Month. Didn't work out that way. but I ended up finding this place called the Her Place. And so, yes, it's under my organization. She is empowered. And I would be glad to have people come out to support. I'm actually also going to have a couple of vendors there, women vendors, entrepreneurs selling their products, and just really coming together. The purpose is for us to really come together, as you stated, as a community, to love on each other, but also to support each other, to provide resources to each other. There might be someone in the room who is who wants to be an author, and we have authors in the room. Someone might want to figure out how to create a website, and I know people for that. So just coming together and being able to do that. And yeah, so that's what's happening. The bigger events that I do usually have over like 60 or 70 people. This year I wanted to do something on a little smaller scale, but it's still going to be just as powerful.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. We definitely want to make sure that we are sharing that inside of the group, because we do have quite a few individuals in the New York area that could come out and support inside of the group. So we definitely want to make sure that we are sharing that, so that we can garner that support, and that they can share in their circle, within their networks, because you
Yes.
never know who may be in the area that can come out and support. Definitely want to connect with you. And see how we could possibly partner and bring this movement there, so that we can showcase some of these authors and these brands, and give people an opportunity to get to know some of these 100 authors. We still have room for our authors. If there's still individuals that want to come together and want to pull on resources, we have a group chat. We have that we're in every day. we
Mhm.
have a group that we post in. We share information. We support each other. If there's individual opportunities to be featured in magazines, to be featured on radio shows, podcasts, whatever opportunities come up, award shows, whatever come up, we post it, we share it in the group. We give individuals an opportunity to get out there, to get visible. We share everything. There's nothing, I'm telling you, individuals, if you come for me, if you want me to be a part of something, that no, they already know that I don't come alone, that you gotta at least grab some people, and allow them to come along with me as well. And then we gonna pay it forward. We gonna reach back and share it with some more people,
Absolutely.
and that's what we do.
Mhm.
And that's how we all win. It is enough in this world for us all to win, because if we look at the amount of people that are actually published, I just completed. Yeah, I can't stop talking about this, but I just completed my MBA. Today I just turned in my 40-page paper, y'all. Yeah,
Congratulations.
I thank God for just being who He is, because if it had not been for Him, I would have been still asleep. Because I just turned that paper in right before 5 a.m. prayer this morning.
Mm.
We do a 5 a.m. prayer every morning. So right before 5 a.m. prayer this morning, I was just turning that paper in. I did not go to sleep after that until probably about 12 o'clock. And I was napping, and I jumped up and I said, "Oh, wait, it's time for this. It's time for the podcast." So I had to run over here and get on this podcast. Could not miss this. So I'm grateful, but I'm excited for you. You're doing a
You.
lot of amazing things that is paying it forward, and you are leading by example. You are not sitting down on what God has done for you. You are sharing His goodness. You are allowing people to see what He's done. You're being transparent, and you are allowing Him to use you. So thank you. I definitely look forward to hearing more from you, and seeing what you're doing and connecting with you. That is so amazing. So before we leave, I want you to share with individuals how they can connect with you, where they can support some of the things that you're doing, where they can get your books, and if you have any literary projects that you're working on, that they may can tap into.
Oh,
Um,
okay. So 3 books, all available on Amazon. Protection from the Storm is the partial memoir. Soar is my poetry book, my diary from when I was a child and I turned it into poems. And Gratitude and Grief is the anthology, intimate domestic violence intimate partner relationships, and all available on Amazon. My website for my organization, She Is Empowered, is www.sheis-empowered.com, where you can see all the wonderful things that I've done in the past and the event that's soon to come. And I'm on Instagram at @sheIsEmpowered_LLC.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I tell you, I definitely have enjoyed sitting down and talking with you on today, and sharing what you have going on. It's truly amazing. I thank you. And again, I definitely look forward to seeing all that you have to share. It is definitely amazing to see individuals that are able to come through and willing to share how they got through.
Yeah.
So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you. And I
you.
want to thank everyone that has tuned in on today. All of the comments. Thank you, Latanya, for tuning in, and all those that have tuned in on today. It has truly been a blessing. I want you to know that no matter where you are, know that you are right where you are supposed to be,
Yeah.
because God is an on-time God, and He is yet faithful. Jeremiah 29:11 reminds us that He said that He declared that He had a plan for us. And it was to prosper us. It wasn't to harm us. It was for us to be in good health, for us to have hope in the future. So, regardless of where you are right now, know that the plan that He has for you shall come to pass, and that you will get there, because His plan will not return to Him void. He will watch over until it's performed and perfected in this world. So, again, stay the course and just trust the process. Go through the process and know that going through, once you get through, you'll be able to share that testimony. I'm reminded that the test is only for a moment, so
Yes.
that you can have that testimony. So
Yes.
y'all be blessed. And I want to thank you
Thank
guys for
you.
tuning in on today. And before we leave, y'all, we got to give this queen a round of applause to thank her for coming in the studio on today and sharing with us. So let's give her a round of applause for being here on today.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Queen Angela.
Thank you. And I pray that you have a blessed rest of your day. And again, thank you for gracing us on today. Have a great one.
You too. Bye-bye.
I want to thank you guys for tuning in on today. I pray that you were blessed by something that was shared. If you would, please share this in your circle. Make sure that you go over, support this queen, support the things that she's doing. She shared her links, she shared her book, she shared everything. And I'm going to tell y'all, when you go over to Amazon, look at the books, but go to her website. Order it from her so that she can autograph that copy for you, so you can get that personal touch, so that you get an opportunity to get to know a little bit about her and get that little closeness. So y'all support this queen, support the 100 Authors Movement. If you are an author and you are not attached to this movement, I want to encourage you to get attached to this movement. We are showcasing, we're sharing authors, we're connecting, we're sharing resources, and we're doing it as a family. I believe in the 4 C's, and that is connect, collaborate, create, and community. So if you believe in those 4 C's, we want you to come over and be a part of the 100 Authors to Watch for 2025. Y'all have a great one. Love you.